First of all, I am loving the introduction. What an amazing, just seeing that. It's lovely. So thank you so much for having me on here today. It's my first live and it's exciting. I wanted to spend today literally just speaking about who I am. In order for people to understand who I am really is to understand the story and the journey. And I guess that's with a lot of people, why we do the things that we do and what got us here. And one of the things I want to really dwell on today is the passion I have for fitness, and then the passion I have to serve clients, and where Fitness Reborn was created and why really. There's a story behind everything. There's a story behind all of our journeys. And first of all, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's joining us. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me anything and just connect with me. I'd love to get to know you. And if there's anything I can do to help you with your fitness, emotional, mental well-being, hit me up. Okay. So it goes back a very, very long time of going through an eating disorder growing up as a South Asian Bangladeshi female growing up in London. I didn't have much access to information when it comes to working out and training really. And I think everybody who has a body, they think they know how to train, but without really the knowledge behind what's going on, without understanding the science behind what's going on mentally, physically, and spiritually, we're literally walking into a brick wall every time. So my story really in why I created Fitness Reborn was to give back and serve, because my journey growing up, my experience with fitness has been somewhat reckless, has been self-sabotaging most years, damaging in terms of my mental health, my spiritual health. There's so many components of why Fitness Reborn was created and why this membership is here now in 2021. I've been procrastinating for such a long time, and it's the fear that I've actually had to overcome as well. And I'm going to quickly dip into a few important things that we need to understand when it comes to the psychology of fitness and training, and where the root cause is and where we're going, and the journey that we are embarking on with our physical body and our emotional well-being. I came from a background where an eating disorder took over my teenage years, from the ages of 17 till about, I still struggle with it, by the way. I'm 38 now, and it's managing myself around food and my relationship with food. And the cause of having those self-sabotaging years was probably stemming from the teenage years, and nothing was given to me to fix it. And then I was an amateur boxer for so many years. I love being an amateur boxer. I really thought I was someone really hot, actually. I still do, but that's not the point. But being an athlete in a time where there was no social media, it gave me the freedom of just owning who I was without an identity or a label of being a female, being Bangladeshi, being Muslim, being the elder sister. There's so many labels I had to fit in to society. It gets really draining, by the way. And in a community, I just want to give you a note of background as well. From a Bangladeshi background, females like me are not supposed to be doing what we're supposed to be doing. Culturally, we're supposed to be getting married at a certain age, having children by a certain age, having life sorted out by the time you're 25. We know that's not a reality. And I think I was rebelling most of my teenage life, and then in my 20s as well. And unfortunately, that eating disorder that I embarked on, shall I say, that journey from the ages of 17, because I didn't get any therapy, it leaked in different areas of my life. I had a very low self-esteem, low confidence. I was my worst ever enemy, actually. And fitness was the only escape I had when it came to, let's say, recklessly punishing myself for eating too much, because that's the only thing I had control over at that time. And then being an amateur boxer, I still went through other psychological mishaps, shall I say, because you're now trying to fit into a group, a tribe. And as human beings, we want to be a part of something, to belong and to feel wanted as well. And that's what I was longing for in my 20s. And fitness gave me that. Boxing gave me that in such a crazy way. It gave me meaning to my life. And I didn't realize at the time, because I wasn't looking after the spiritual part of me, the mental health part of me, it caught up with me. And I actually embarked on another part of my journey that was what we called depression. I don't like putting things into labels, but that's the term that we're going to use today. And it was in that moment I realized a few things, and I almost feel like I had a rebirth in my life. And I guess anybody who's gone through depression, they will understand the challenges that you face. One, trying to own yourself in the chaos, I guess. And the other one is you don't come out the same ever. No matter how hard you try to go back to the old version of you, you just can't. But there was a beautiful lesson for me in this period of my darkness, the period of separating myself from the identity and the labels I gave myself as a female boxer, as an amateur boxer, as somebody who was an athlete. And it was a lesson of growth, I guess, in so many respects. And this is where Fitness Reborn was created. Before I go on to explain how and what, it's important to understand also the battles that I fought in terms of the discrimination, the levels of discrimination. First of all, there was the discrimination of being the Bangladeshi female and then having to now please my parents, the expectations of not being married, having children, or having a normal career, shall I say, like a doctor, an accountant, or a good wife. That's a career, apparently, for some people, and which is okay. I'm not saying it's not okay. It is okay. I just didn't have that in my plan. I wanted something different, something more. And I think that search for something more created me to dwell deeper in who I was, who NAZIA is at the time, who NAZIA is now. And the other layers of discrimination that I probably had to battle was the society's expectations of who I was going into. In depression, I realized the darkness was something I had never faced ever, because I had a very comfortable upbringing, a very not peaceful. I mean, nothing's ever peaceful. Being the eldest child out of 6 siblings, had a lot of, I guess, trying to find my place. Fitness Reborn was created because I realized something really magical without realizing it was happening for the years I was already training, right? That it was the only thing that saved me at the time. It was the only thing that interrupted my thought pattern. And when I say thought pattern, it was a negative thoughts that was coming to me all the time. Unfortunately, I did go down that road of certain things that I didn't want to be here. I'm not going to use the name, the label. I don't like using the word at all, but I went that road. I mean, and I'm just really, really grateful that I'm actually here and I exist. And one of the things that fitness did for me in the most crazy ways was bring me back to myself, bring me back to my values and my truth, right? And I don't know if anybody can appreciate this because it's fitness. We're talking about getting yourself into a gym, training, running, sports, but there's magic in there. And when I realized that the rebirth of myself had happened, there was a penny drop moment of realizing I never felt good enough, and I had to work on self-love. I had to now bring up my self-esteem, and it's hard when you're doing it by yourself and nobody understands what's going on in your head, but you can't even articulate what's happening because you don't have any words, or there's no dictionary to give it to you because you've not been exposed to that world. And what is mental health? We don't talk about it much in our community as well. I know I was brave. I knew I was very courageous. I knew I was okay taking risks. So I took a risk in creating Fitness Reborn and seeing what magic was unfolding for myself. And the first few clients I took on board was absolutely crazy, because I realized, wow, they're not just changing physically, they're not just transforming by dropping the weight, they weren't just transforming by looking good, they were also transforming within. And I did more work on their internal well-being than their external, because a lot of people came in, they were like, okay, I'm lacking motivation. Why are you lacking motivation? What's going on? Where's the inspiration going high and low? And it's managing to get people to a place where they can sustain their results, their inner gains, their external gains. And then I started doing a lot of research. The research took me on a journey that I didn't really like about my industry. And that was the fitness industry had been set up to fail individuals. And I'm going to give you an example. And that example is, when there is so much going on out there, the trends, the fitness trends, and there's so many diets, products out there, something's not matching up. Because if it worked, there wouldn't be the need of so many products out there. Consumerism, capitalism at its best. And I put myself through the situation of, what did I go through that I didn't get? And what did I wish I had help with? And everything that I do now with my clients was an experience that I had to go through first. And I think that's what makes it really, really hands-on. That's what makes it really, really beautiful and different from other fitness, I want to say coaches, because there are some amazing fitness coaches out there, but how I've managed to make myself stand out from the fitness industry in itself. Because when I realized that the fitness industry had seen me as a product, and that product, me consuming, it made me feel really angry and upset. I had spent so many years going through this turmoil of not liking myself, even at my best shape, even at my athlete best self. I will still look in the mirror and have this conversation with myself that I'm not pretty enough, not good looking enough, I'm not fit enough. And then I kept chasing the next high, or what size can I get to? It also made me embark on another journey, and that journey was understanding psychology and neuroscience and how the self-image was constructed. And Maxwell Waltz was a person I studied at the time, and he said something so beautiful. I'm going to paraphrase it. When you look in the mirror and the internal dialogue that you have with yourself, if it's not healthy, that gets projected out into the world. And we know, well, I hope some people know, what you say to yourself, you manifest into your body, and whatever's manifested into your body is now projected into the reality, because magnetic energy around us is what's been put out into the world, into the universe. So when I put all of that together and studying neuroscience and connecting fitness with neuroscience, the psychology of human behavior became a huge interest to me. And when it became something that I was really good at, I wanted to go a bit more deeper into why people do the things they do. However, it had to start with me. I had some toxic behavior patterns. I had some not so cool relationship trends with fitness and with food. And my relationship with myself was going high and low and erratic. So understanding myself first gave me understanding of what my clients were missing maybe, and what they needed from me as well. So I've been in the journey for probably about a decade of trial and error, finding out what works, piecing people back together when they come to me from different backgrounds, like domestic violence, sexual abuse clients, people who've never learned how to be nice to themselves, single moms, athletes, CEOs, multimillionaires. It's been refreshing to see that we all have this one same theme, and that theme is to feel good about who we are, to feel enough about who we are, to be in love with who we are. And the objective, people think I sell fitness. I don't sell fitness. I sell happiness in this room. In this room, I sell happiness, because when you feel good in your body, you feel good mentally. When you feel good mentally, you know, there's so much there to experience. It's almost like the blinkers go off in your eyes. And that's what I'm doing at the moment, is getting people to love themselves. And the fitness journey that they embark on, they get so many benefits. And those benefits come from understanding who they are when they walk through the doors and how they leave. And it's this experience that I try to give to the clients. When you're able to transform mentally, physically, and spiritually, you become a wholesome human being. And it all starts with one thing, is how we treat in ourselves, how we treat in our bodies, because this is the home essentially that you're living in. Without the home, you cannot go and be the best in your romantic relationships. You cannot go and be the best employee or the best entrepreneur or whatever it is that we're doing in life. And I use this beautiful example of when you've been gifted this body, why are we always neglecting it and abusing it? And today in society, more than ever before, with the whole crisis we've had going on in the last year or so, I hope that it's given people an insight to stop chasing an aesthetic physical look and to go a bit more inwards, because we're all scared somehow. We're all scared of reaching inside and pulling out what's making us feel bad. And fitness is the first point that we go to actually allow us to overcome the obstacle. The voluntary pain that we go through in fitness allows us to hold on to other areas of your life. So the 5 pillars came from, again, trial and error: self-love, mindset, physical health, diet, sleep. And people always put physical health first, but it all starts with self-love, and then you have to slowly build up the blocks to get you to the end. And fitness really isn't the end destination. It's a journey that we all go on, and it's a never-ending journey. Sorry, somebody's here. Hi. It's a never-ending journey that we have to go on, trying to be kind to ourselves, being compassionate to ourselves, being affectionate to who we are as well, because we forget the first person that we have to look after is ourselves. So that's where Fitness Reborn's story, and it's now my time to show up in the world. And the membership site on WINJECT is created really and truly to actually expand and for more people to learn of the message, and for them to actually come back home to themselves and disregard what we've been taught and conditioned our whole entire lives, maybe, when it comes to fitness and health and diet, because that system is so outdated. That system is so broken, so flawed. And I'm here, and some good personal trainers out there as well, to do the work and bring people back to a place where they can be happy in their bodies, happy in their mental health, and learn how to love themselves. So that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, I would love to hear from you. And please go onto the course as well. I'll be there delivering on a weekly basis, educational bite-size fitness videos. Really and truly is there for you to get a grip of where you are now, and then also work through the journey. And I'm going to be helping you facilitate that journey as well and guide you through it in a more unorthodox way, rather than just doing 100 burpees and doing cardio for non-stop. I'm here to guide you. I'm here to help you. I'm here to send you love. Wherever you need, I'm there. So that's it for me, and I'll speak to you next week.
Podcast is brought to you by WINJECT Studios. We are an all-in-one educational platform for podcasters that revolutionizes how hosts leverage content to increase engagement with listeners, downloads, and income. We come together to focus on community, collaboration, and collective impact. For more information on how you can interact directly with our hosts, access exclusive live content with offers you can't get anywhere else from our official partners, join our purpose-driven community by visiting www.winject.com. If you're ready to build a career doing what you love, then we're ready to see you there.